Okie dokie. This is going to be a hard manga to talk about. I'm going to have to try and be vague enough to keep it safe for work, but still imply what kind of manga this actually is. If you already understand, then hello, welcome, fellow cultured ones. If you don't, well, I hope you're open minded because Rosengarten Saga is an absolute delight. Basic synopsis: Siegfried is a legendary hero, able to slay dragons with his mighty sword, who is currently helping maintain peace in a certain village in return for some quality bonding time with all the local girls. All except one. Lin is down bad, a trait which is going to be a common theme for this manga. The only girl not to get invited to the meet and greet, Lin can't help but stress at being the only girl that doesn't have work experience. That worry will have to be shelved, however, when a group of bandits raid the village and pillage every nook and cranny of the poor village folk. The hero maintaining peace has been slain, and while running for her life, Lin stumbles upon a sword and a stone, one that contains some interesting powers, and becomes the spark to her own legendary adventure. Honestly, I don't believe I can even spoil this manga because a lot of it would sound out of context and completely unbelievable, and I am trying to keep this video as okie dokie as possible. If you're happy to hear my thoughts on this series, let's continue. This may sound like I'm huffing some mad copium, but whenever I read these type of manga, the main thing I always look for is how funny it is. I completely understand I'm sometimes looking for oranges in an apple tree, but I find this genre can sometimes pull out the brakes and just full throttle into some of the most outlandish situations that make me laugh harder than most others. The concept of constantly trying to show the goods is already ridiculous enough, and a series like Rosengarten Saga has the liberty of taking its filter and yeeting it past cars. I absolutely love when a manga just doesn't care and is willing to go off the deep end in terms of storytelling and gags. It follows its own logic in creating situations that I wish I could explain to you. Yes, it's a bit stupid. Yes, it's completely insane. But you don't come to these types of stories for a serious plotline. You come because you're either feeling a bit frisky or you're like me and know a good time when you see it. Another thing about these type of manga is that the art is usually god tier. This is, I guess, a battle manga, and the fights you see here will get your rocks off. It's nuts how good it looks, and it's such a shame that I can't show all of them because the sword fighting gets a little intense. I mean, we got Beowulf, another swordman who practices the free sword style like Zoro. We got his giant sword in his right hand, his runting on his left, and his third sword. You're gonna have to figure out that one for yourself. The characters are also fun as well. I've always liked stories that take a bunch of historical and mythological characters and just add their own little spin to them. And oh, what a spin this is. Attila the Hun is the richest man in the world until he sinks it all into merchandise for his favorite girl, and then makes it all back again in the blink of an eye. Arthur Pendragon is a cross-dressing idol who can win over your heart or crush it with his bare hands, which is an understatement when you see what he does to castles. Our aforementioned Siegfried, who I should mention is now residing in the sword that Lin has, which has the ability to turn anyone into a hot anime girl. He has an obsession with cherries and an appetite that consumes anyone that enters his path. You can probably put two and two together when you realize the sword containing this soul was one that Siegfried used often. You think this doesn't even begin to cover the range in characters we have in this manga, and they all feel super fleshed out as well, not just falling on cheap gimmicks. The story is also really engaging as well, especially the mystery being Lin's appearance. We all look at her, and I'm sure you agree that she looks like a lovely lady, maybe even attractive. But for some reason, every male character says she's ugly or just can't get it up for her. This may sound a bit like a silly gag, but there's a deeper reason for this that we're being drip fed over the course of this manga, and I really want to know what the hell is going on with this possible conspiracy level story that we keep getting sucked into. I really do implore you to read this manga. It's honestly so much better than I was expecting when I initially stepped into it. I came for the out of context screenshots and I stayed for an actually amazing manga that I'm constantly waiting for the next chapter. If you don't like this sort of thing, I totally understand. I wish you would read it, but I can't force people to do my bidding for now. But if you're down for a good time, pick this up. I hope this video is friendly enough to do well. Hopefully you all understand why I'm being so vague about it. Thanks for watching. We'd love to see your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more content. Let me know if there's something you would like me to cover. I like talking about anything that interests me. That's all I wanted to say. I hope you all have a good rest of your day.